You are here because there are things that you have been wanting, and you want help with your manifestations. Many of you, if you are like many of our physical friends, you are standing in a place where what you want hasn't been realized by you yet. So as you stand on this physical platform in your now moment without your desire, how do you feel? How do you feel in the absence of your desire? Do you feel the fresh, exhilarating feeling of pure desire, or do you feel yearning? Do you know the difference? How do you feel about your desire? And that answer, if you answer it very honestly, it is a trap. It is a trap. It is a trick question. The answer to that question will tell you all about where you are in relationship to your desire. Meaning, if you're yearning for it, if you're frustrated, if you're angry that it's not here yet, if you're confused about why it's not here yet, then you cannot realize the path. You are on a different frequency than your desire, which maybe you may have a logical reason for that. You may have justification. You may say, hey, look, my desire isn't here yet, and maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe, and you come up with all these excuses, and you come up with all these conclusions, and the answer really is, in a vibrational world with this law of attraction governing everything, you're just not a match to your desire. And it is our greatest intention to help you understand that it's not very difficult to change your frequency. It's not very difficult to change your vibrational offering so that you are matching your desire. But it is very important to understand, what does it mean to match your desire? What does it mean? I'm sure you've heard many times, you have to match your desire. You have to be on the same frequency. But what does that mean? In this vibrational world, you have 5 sensors. You have your taste, your touch, and the rest of your sensors. But you also have another sensory, which is your feeling. And the thing about your emotions, your feelings, is that your emotions are so much more than chemicals in your body. That's how you translate them. But what your emotions come directly from source. And so when it comes to your desire, sometimes you're thinking about your desire, and when you think you're thinking about your desire, you're really thinking about the absence of it. And so this is how it goes. So life causes you to ask for something. Maybe you want an improvement because what you have is horrible and it sucks. So then you give birth to something brand new. But instead of going with the brand new, you're so used to staying with the old. You're so used to talking about the very conditions that made the desire that gave birth to the desire. So if you want something new, it's the old that you're complaining about. The old is disgusting and you hate it, and all the while you're just talking about the old and you're including it in your vibration so much that the new thing that you want, the new version of it, the new improvement, it has no airtime. You're giving it no airtime, so no real momentum can get created. No momentum can get started, and so you don't see your desire, you can't realize it. You haven't improved your ability to perceive your desire enough because you haven't practiced the frequency of the presence. You're so used to being a match to the absence of what you want. And there is a lot of we understand, we get it, because you have your reality is real. It's compact, it's in front of you, it's tangible, you can see it. But what's so interesting about focusing on what's real and letting what's real be the criteria for what you give your focus to, the only issue with that, and we would say it's not the only issue, it's a very big issue, it's very significant, because it plays a bigger role in your life than you want it to be. It plays a bigger factor in your vibration than you want it to be. Because what's real has nothing to do with what you should be focusing on. Because what's real, anyone can say anything's real. What's real means that you're the one who focused it. Anyone focused it. That's all real means. Reality is not what you think it is. It's so much more than what meets the eye. Because what's real, who can define what's real? Because everyone has their own definition of what's real. And so you can't let what reality is, what's real, what's tangible, to be the only thing you think about. Because if it's the only thing you think about, maybe it'll be good, because if you like what you're looking at, then you create more of it. But if it's not what you like, which in many cases it is, because what is never enough, usually never enough to satisfy you. And so when you're focusing on something just because it's real, because you're like, oh, it's real, I should focus on it because I should be a realist, then we want to say you're screwed, but you're not screwed. You're just prolonging everything. You're making the process longer for yourself. But you have to introduce something else into the equation, which is, how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel? It doesn't matter about how real it is. It matters about how does it feel when I think about it. And then we enter into this chat, this idea of your emotional guidance system. No conversation about manifestation is ever complete without a conversation, without an introduction of your emotions, because your emotions are your guidance system. And so your emotions can help you take you all the way to the fruition of your desires. But the thing is, it's really hard, not hard, but sometimes you're not sensitive to your emotion. Sometimes you can't tell the difference between the presence and the absence of your desire, because you think that, are you ready for this? You think that desire, you have confused, you forgot what desire is. You forgot what pure desire is. You think that desire is this outstanding long list of things that I don't have. The desire is this feeling of yearning. I don't have it. Where is it? I don't have it. But that's not what pure desire is. Pure desire is exhilarating, it's fresh, it's interesting. It's like, I want $1 million. And the second you think about the millions of dollars, you think about the confidence and the security, that feeling of the money. And that feeling gives birth, that rocket gives birth to the millions of dollars. But then here you are compounding your now moment. You're talking about, well, I don't have $1 million now, and that's so annoying. I hate being poor. I hate not being able to do what I want. I hate having to go work. I hate having to not do what I hate not having the freedom. I hate not having the security. And so the list is on. That's what we're saying, is that the list is on and on and on and on. And then there's this human thing that we think is so interesting, because what is in the human psyche that looks around at where they are, and then they come to conclusions. They want to explain it. They want to get to the bottom of the problem. They want to get to the bottom of why they are where they are. So it's like, well, I feel like this because I have reason. I haven't manifested this millions of dollars because maybe it's not meant for me, because it's hard. What am I doing wrong? And so you look around in your now moment. You look around, and that's the problem. You're so used to looking around. You're so enamored with what you're seeing. You look around and you're like, it's real, because it's real. That's why you're enamored with it. So you look around and you try to come to conclusions about what it is that's going on. So you have this manifestation, because every moment is a manifestation. So you have this manifestation, and then you're here, and then you're trying to make conclusions up. And what we're saying is that there's no bottom to there's no bottom to your problem. And because you learn in school, you learn through your peers, and you learn through your parents, and you just learn from humans in general that you need to solve a problem. You need to grab a problem by the throat and choke it until you find until a solution, you can eke the solution out. But in a world where you're tuning frequencies, you can't find the problem, and the solution exists on two different frequencies. So you have to focus on the solution frequency, and what's so interesting about that is that no one does that, because you're so used to defending yourself. You're so used to justifying yourself, because if what you want isn't here yet right now, you get discouraged, and you want to come up with the reasons why you're discouraged. You're like, it's someone's fault. It's this person's fault. I wasn't lucky. I'm not one of those people. Everyone who has it, they're so lucky, like they did it, and I'm not lucky. And so you come up with all these bogus reasons, and all of them are actually bogus. All these thoughts are bogus, because here's the thing. When you want something, it exists, but the reason why you're not experiencing it right now, the reason why you haven't manifested it yet, is because you're so enamored with what you're seeing. You're so used to taking stock of where you are right now. You're so used to, we don't say, you're not used to it, but it's your habit. You think it's valuable. You think you have to defend yourself. You think you have to justify the reason why you want it. You think you have to justify the fact that I want $1 million because I'm not poor, because I don't want to be poor. You're so used to that. But what we're saying is that this is not a conversation about worthiness, because you are already worthy. You are so worthy that the path comes to you. You are so worthy that you don't even have to go out there and look for the path. The path literally comes to you. Everything comes to you, because you're the point of attraction. And so the point that we're really trying to drive across, from all these words, is that pure desire feels good to you. Your desires are meant to feel good to you, because here's the thing. Your desires, you think you want them for the manifestation, but we're telling you it's for the journey. You want them for the fun. It's like you want it for that. As much as you do want it for the end goal, it's like a pit stop. It's like a destination along your eternal journey, because you're eternal. You'll never get to the point where you're done with desire, because there's always gonna be something more and more and more. That's why it's so important to understand that where you are right now is temporary, and where you are right now requires no justification, because your inner being doesn't care. And you know what's funny? Your inner being never looks back. Your inner being never looks back, and your emotions are about what you are doing in relation to your inner being. So if you're looking back, guess what? You have now, just through a negative emotion, disconnected yourself from source. So we're telling you, just get back, just get connected. But then you're over here saying, well, I need to explain myself. I need to justify myself. I need to open up. I need to go in front of this court of like all these people in the world, and I need to tell them what I want isn't here yet, and this is why. This is why, because when you were a kid, you had to explain yourself. You had to explain your behavior, and it's actually backwards, because in a vibrational world, you don't get to the bottom of any of your problems. There is no bottom, because it's either you're on the solution or you're on the problem, and you can't hold two thoughts at the same time, because that's the power of your focus. That's the power of your harnessing the energy that creates worlds. So your desires are meant to feel good to you. And if your desires don't feel good to you, the only reason why your desires don't feel good to you is because you're talking about why you're not there yet. You're either one talking about why you're not there yet, and why that is, and what you're doing wrong, and you try to beat yourself up for it, and you try to understand, you try to watch videos, you try to talk to other people, you try to find the solution to your problems, but that's not how it works. You can't talk about the problem and expect a solution to come. And then number two is you're so used to talking about what you don't want about the equation. So instead of talking about this $1 million that's going to be so fun, you're talking about what you don't want. You're talking about the fact that you don't want to do anything for it. You don't know what you're going to do about it. You're just talking about all the things that you are not your problem. You don't need to think about you. You're introducing too much into the mix, and oh, that's crazy. That's actually really crazy, because you introduce too much into the mix, and then everything just gets warped, and then you declare, I'm not good at this. But we're telling you, it's not that you're not good at this, it's that you're so good at looking at what is. You're so good at looking at reality and coming up with the conclusions. And we're like, it really is it's not detrimental, because it is useful, because you put more in your vortex. So there is some use to it, but at one point or the other, you gotta match your desire. Because here's the thing, that you don't have to worry about your law of attraction. You don't have to worry about your inner being, because what you want is being revealed to you at all the time. What you want is being revealed to you. What you want is being revealed to you all the time. And here's the thing, everything is a manifestation. Every moment, every second is a manifestation, because you're using your 5 sensory things to perceive. You're using your eyes to perceive this moment where you're listening to this. You're translating what I'm saying into words. And through all this translation, your ability to realize what you want in this moment, let's start again. This moment has so much, every moment has so much, has all the potential to be the biggest moment of your life. And the reason why we say, and the reason why it can be the biggest moment is because it can yield you so much more. That's what we're saying, is that every moment can yield you everything that you want. Everything that you want. Every moment can be so big in its yielding, because here's the thing, if every moment's not yielding to you some good stuff, if you're not getting good stuff all day every day, then you're doing something wrong. Then you're living mediocrity. That's what we're saying. Like, physical friends, you're living mediocre lives because you're so used to you're so okay with being a sloppy thinker, because you're awake, you would go get up from sleep, because when you sleep, momentum rests, and then when you wake up, you're a brand new person. But then you're just opening up everything that you talked about yesterday. You're reactivating everything, because you're like, this is my life story, I have to get to the bottom of all these problems. And then you just make a mess of your vibration, and then it's too late to clean up, so you have to sleep again, and then it's just a vicious cycle. But we're telling you, our friends, is that now is a time to give up. Just give up on talking about what is. Give up on justifying yourself, because no one wants an explanation. No one cares, because your inner being does not care. Your inner being is not saying, you need to clean everything up on your path and then talk to us. Your inner being is saying, come. But you're saying, but inner being, I can't, because I have talked about what I've been doing all these years. I have talked about what I've been doing all this time. Like, I have not been being a good person. I have not been being good with my vibration. I have to justify myself. I have to come up with the conclusion that when people hear me, when people hear my case, they understand, because they need to understand this peanut gallery, that everyone needs to understand what I'm doing. People need to feel good when they look at me, because that's how I feel good, because I don't have an emotional guidance system. I don't know what feels good to me. I only know that if they feel good about me, then I feel good about me. So I don't really have guidance. And we say then you just have to be okay with living a mediocre life. But if you're not, you can't, because you know too much now. If you got this far, you understand that. You understand that you can create your own reality. And we're saying is that what you want is being revealed to you all the time, but it's all about your ability to realize the path. It's your ability to realize in this moment as much as you can. It's your ability to realize. Realizing is the perfect word, because all you have to do is just realize what's already there in front of you. Because it's not like your manifestations fly from the sky when you match it. When you match it, it's like you know what it is? It's like, imagine you're in a radio, you're in a car, and you want to listen to music. You understand that, like, on this radio channel, whenever you tune to a channel, the music is not coming from the sky. The music is not coming from this ominous force. The music is coming from the tower that's broadcasting a signal. And that it's the same with your vortex in your inner being. It's broadcasting you a signal, and what's on that signal is being transmitted to you, and you can translate what's on that signal into these manifestations. But what we're telling you is that you have to translate it. And the way you translate what's on the frequency of your billions of dollars is by feeling good about it. Because when you feel good about it, you have matched it. And the way you feel good about your desire is by making all about the pure desire. about the excitement you're excited for. What are you excited for? Well, what's so satisfying? Why do you want it? Why do you want this desire? That's your job. You don't have to figure any of the conditions, because you're putting resistance on your trail. And the thing about this resistance is that there's no end to it. There's no bottom to it. You can't ever get the resistance out, because there's contrast everywhere in this universe. This is a reality where there's wanted and unwanted in every particle of the universe. So you can't run away from it. You just have to own your focus. This moment has the ability to yield you so much, but you have to be the one to translate it. It's all up to you. You're the only cooperative component that's required left in the process. And so we're telling you today is that all you have to do is just let go of resistance. All you have to do is let go of telling everyone why you are where you are, because you don't have to. Your inner being does not care. Your inner being doesn't. It's not like your inner being doesn't care. Your inner being knows who you really are. Your inner being knows who you really are, and it's up to you to remind yourself about who you are. You're a prosperous being. Things work out for you. You are the creator of your reality. If you want something, all you have to do is achieve vibrational harmony with it. And as a result of this conversation today and your understanding of it, you understand something that's very different than everyone, which is pure desire. You understand that pure desire feels good to you, and that's all your desire has to feel good about. I mean, that's all you have to do about your desire. You just have to make it about the pure desire. You can't make it about, because here's the thing is that you're so used to talking about what you want and then talking about what you don't want. You're so used to talking about what you want, and the reasons that made you that made you want what you want. So it's like you want this new car, but every time you think about this new car, you think about the old car you have, and then you're like, I want this new car because this old car sucks, and then you're including the old car in your vibration, and then you never get your new car. What we're telling you is that the thing about the new car is that you have to make it a pure desire. So you have to feel the confidence of driving down the avenue. You have to feel the confidence of these new seats, the confidence of the color, the confidence of the build, and the brand newness of it. That's what you have to feel. Think about how good that feels. That's how your desires have to feel good to you. Our friends, it's important, and it's not only important, it's up to you. It's your light, it's your experience, and we want so much to just hit you over the head with the stick of worthiness, because you put yourself into this body. You knew what you were doing when you got in here, but you didn't sign up for a struggle. You signed up for the best life experience everywhere. You signed up for this little buffet of physical experiences, and so everything you want already exists, and it's literally with you in every moment. But you have to improve your ability to realize it. And we're telling you today that your realizing is all about how you feel. And the better you feel, the more you can realize what's being revealed to you in every moment. The more you can realize it, the more you can translate, the more you can see it, the more you can hear it. And so you just have to get ready. You have to get over the absence of it. You have to, because you want to, every time you notice it's not here, you get frustrated and you get defensive. You want to justify, and we're telling you that it's slowing everything down, because no one cares. Your inner being does not care. And the reason why we're punctuating the fact that your inner being doesn't care is because you're so used to explaining yourself to other people, because you want to seek mutuality with them. You want them to feel good about you, because when they feel good about you, you feel good about you. What we're telling you is that in this vibrational world, in this sea of contrast, the only thing that you can really do to ensure your happiness is, number one, tune into your inner being. Find mutuality with your inner being, not with that person, not with your parents, not with all these people who are asking you questions about where you are in your life right now. You don't need to explain yourself. Find mutuality with your inner being, who knows who you are, because that's what your emotions are about anyways. Your emotions are not about what they think about you. Your emotions are about what your inner being thinks about you. And here's the thing, your inner being is always thinking that you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. And it's time for you to do that too. And you're eternal anyways, so get over the absence. Get over the fact that it's not here. Stop defending yourself. Stop being disappointed over it, because you don't need to be disappointed, because you're going to experience it, because it's a done deal. But the more you try to justify why it's not here yet, the more you just nail your feet to the ground, and then you just live a bumpy experience. But it doesn't need to be like that. It does not need to be like that. You can have the life that you want, because it already exists, and you're just getting better and better at this. All of you are getting better and better and better at this, and it's our greatest intention that you just learn that you just have to realize it. You just have to realize what's in front of you. It's being revealed to you all the time. You don't need to pay a price. It's so easy. It's so easy to have a good life. And so for now, we are complete.